I mean, Kennedy didn't have power. Lincoln didn't have power.
No,
No president.
because there's two things that exist on this land that I call southwest of Mexico.
Yes, sir.
And that is that you have what's known as the Republic of the United States, which is a country.
Right.
And then you have a corporation known as the United States of America Incorporated.
Right.
And President Barack Obama is the president of the United States of America Incorporated. However, Senator Biden is the chairman of the board of the United States Republic, which is a country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like Puerto Rico. You have Puerto Rico is not Puerto Rico. That's a corporate name.
Yeah.
The real name of that land is called Barancano. The people from there are not Puerto Ricans. They're called Boricua because they're from the land of Barancano. You know, it's amazing, like I said, not being a thinker, not allowing people to read, and the Rockefellers, all of those people behind them, they're doing that intentionally to keep people, as you said earlier, dumbed down.
Well, it's always easy to enslave someone if they have a lack of knowledge. People can always be bamboozled. The whole thing about the Madoff scandal is that he was allowed to continue the scandal. Few people were just deceived, out and out deceived. And he was a Jewish guy that was deceiving Jews. So it shows you that, you know, greed knows no color.
But there were some bigger people than him, wouldn't you say, who were making money from what he was doing?
Bigger people than that. He was a lot. Listen, you can't run a racket like that.
He was a little bitty guy.
He was a little bitty guy without having some overseers in it.
Let me ask you something now. When they had their closed door session, you know, they know that the economy is going to go in shambles. I mean, the unemployment rate right now is 10% in 2009. And
but the true expense. 10 is the government statistics now.
I mean, yeah, people
the unofficial true statistic is 20.
Okay.
1 in 5 is already, and we're approaching probably. I'd say before Obama gets out, it'll be 1 in 3.
Okay.
Possibly 1 in 4 is 1 in 2, but 1 in 3 people will be unemployed in America.
Yeah. So what are they going to do when the people go into uproar? Are they going to bring military troops that spread abroad like it was in the Roman Empire back to protect the empire when the people get in uproar? What?
Possibly.
Maybe you can.
Would you say they've already violated the Posse Comitatus Act? Because they've already brought troops and placed them in 4 different quadrants in this country?
Well, not only that, they did that against, that was shot at Katrina. They brought in military, which wasn't allowed to be used, military troops. That goes back to Lincoln, when he used federal troops on the citizens. And then that mirrors what happened in the Roman Empire. They were not allowed to use the legions on Roman citizens. Now, that was a no-no. Now, you could take them, they could beat the hell out of the barbarians, but you didn't bring the Roman legions back in. The 101st Cav and the black helicopters, you didn't bring them back under the people. You couldn't do anything outside America, but when you came back in America, you had laws that you had to abide by. So that's basically what you have. You're talking about what they meant was that when this thing melts down, they knew that you would have order in the streets. They knew that people would seek blood, and they would make sure that families would go to safe locations such that they know that they would be protected. Because what's going to happen once you find out the thing has been a fraud and you've been deceived,
yes, sir.
You got chaos. You say, wait a minute, well, so-and-so took our money. And so folks lock and load to start looking for politicians and bankers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't have a court of law. You know, so those people have made preparations where they can go to these bunkers or wherever and be, should I say, protected from the masses as these people rise up and find out that their money, their pension, their homes, everything is upside down. They don't have no pension, They don't have no house, they don't have nothing. Everything's gone.
Wow. So the first people that's going to really, from what we read, this is really going to happen to, they're going to really attack the politicians for lying to the people and the preachers, I'm pretty sure. I'm speculating.
Well, but I mean, the main thing is getting to these families and the bankers and et cetera, et cetera. I ain't talking about the little banker down the corner. We're talking about some of the powerful people here that are here. And let me say this, you'll be surprised that a lot of folks, a lot of these wealthy people, they have land down in South America.
Yes, sir.
So when this thing get crazy,
Yes,
or it goes into revolt or whatever, they'll flee to down to South America. Because what basically this thing comes apart. Remember, it's not a cohesive top thing either at the top. It's not cohesive at the top. These families will fight over territory and pieces of the empire.
So people like me, you, Mark Sims, Boise, the alderman, they're going to get rid of people like us very soon, right?
But that's a small part of the problem. Okay. I mean, they put us in the camp, then they'll fight amongst each other. God, you got family, the Roman, when you want to do the history of Rome, we had the various families, they would fight over various, contracts, monopolies, and power. Just like the mafia families.
Okay.
You see the Goodfellas, they would fight amongst how they would divide Vegas up, and who would get what and what. Well, these families would be fighting over what this thing. And then you got the army. I mean, this thing would be a mess.
They're all gangsters.
That's what I'm saying. But
that's what people don't understand.
Right. But there's no harmony. And we know amongst the devil's kingdom, there's no what? There's no unity.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Alderman.
One of the things that I was thinking as you were talking, there was a guy named Phil Snyder. You familiar?
Yeah.
And Phil talked about he was a geological engineer. He had built how many underground cities?
He had built, I don't know how many cities.
I think it's 129. And those are not for you or I or anyone else. It's when everything goes haywire. It's for some other people.
Right.
The people will be on the surface here fighting, and they'll be in underground cities that look just like downtown.
Right.
And they killed him for starting to tell that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know if you had a question. Okay. You mentioned the Rex 4 camps, and I may be saying it wrong. The Rex 4?
Rex 84.
84 and X4 camp. You saying so they are within the United States. Some that across the globe say the United Snakes, but I love this country, so I'm not going to say that.
I love my country, but I'm afraid of my government.
Okay, right. But what is once they put you in detention in these Rex 484 camps, what are they gonna do?
Some people can be eliminated, or you be in work camps. I mean, all this stuff is this stuff is documented. I mean, they got bills before Congress that had work camps, just like the Nazis that would put you in these camps. I mean, say you got ordered and steady. What they would do is most of the time you have youth running reckless, like a lot of these gangs. Okay. They would be rounded up immediately. I mean, they would be taken taken out to maybe some place like Oregon, and they would build highways.
Yes, sir.
And sit out there and do stuff, way out. I mean, you're talking about a vast country, so they would never see this part of the country ever again. So they would just remove, maybe just say out of Chicago, possibly as much as 1 million people just gone. 500,000 people just gone.
But what are they going to, like, well, I guess let me ask you the question in a different way.
Well, you'd build roads, you'd go out and build highways, you'd do things that would say help the infrastructure of this country.
What I want to ask, is it going to get to a point to where, as Hitler, as you was talking about Hitler in our last segment, he burnt the people. Is it going to get to a point to where their ovens inside?
I don't know whether
I'm asking though.